What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another very exciting video. In this video, we are going to be talking about a stock that I haven't talked about in a little bit on the channel, and that is Meta. And I love Meta stock. I think it's in a great spot. We've seen it finally start to recover in a very nice way. And what I want to get into in this video is Meta has came out with a recent meeting where they've gone over basically their plan for the metaverse over the next 5 years. So we want to get into that. I want to also touch on something because a lot of people look at Meta as basically getting into the gaming industry, and that is not the case at all. So we're going to go over all of that in this video here today. So if you enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. Before we get into all of that, let's take a look at Meta's chart. We can see here today that it was up over 6%, an absolutely massive move. The rest of the market moved in a very big way, but overall Meta was outperforming on the day. And over the last 5 days, we can see the stock moved up actually 7.68%. Over the last month, down just slightly. And over the last 6 months, it's actually up almost 17%. And if we look over the last year, we can see that we're now down only 1% overall. And we can see from the low here of around $88 all the way up to where we're at right now, it has achieved over 100% return. And there were a few key points that came out for Meta this week. So the first thing that came about was there was a price drop in their virtual reality headset, the Quest Pro. That is obviously beneficial because then you can get more people to purchase it. They really kept the price high over the Christmas months, which is always what a lot of these, big companies do, whether it's like Xbox or PlayStation. They'll keep the price high during those Christmas months when people are really looking to buy. And then when the market kind of slows down, then they do the price drop. And that's what we're seeing from Meta. And it just makes sense. Wall Street has also gotten bullish on Meta's artificial intelligence. So that is another big thing. Basically, Barclays has come out and said that Meta is one of the big beneficiaries of AI technology. So that is also huge. And then Morgan Stanley has also included that it is one of the top picks in the space. So basically, Morgan Stanley and Barclays, two very large companies that are looking at the stock market. They control obviously a lot of money and they have a lot of influence on hedge funds. They've come out and basically talked positively about Meta. So we have two very interesting and different articles from this website called The Verge. And this first one that we're taking a look at here is basically talking about Meta being a gaming company. So being a video game company like, Xbox or PlayStation. It's very interesting to me because I think people are, still looking at Meta as a gaming company. And in my opinion, that is not the play. That is not Meta's long-term vision for their metaverse. It is all about AR. It's about augmented reality and where they're going with that. And that's what we're going to take a look at here in this next article. But it's, again, very interesting that there are still articles coming out like this where people are still thinking that Meta and Mark Zuckerberg's ultimate vision is to, transform Meta into a gaming company. And that is not what this is about at all. And this article I thought brought up a lot better points and actually goes into AR and, the future of the metaverse. Basically, over the last couple weeks, Meta has had a few different conferences where they've laid out their plan all the way through to 2027 of what they plan on doing with the metaverse and how they plan on executing on Mark Zuckerberg's vision. And this is in a very contrast to the video that we put out yesterday. If you haven't gone and checked it out, go check it out. But it's about Google and their lack thereof a plan for their AI technology Bard, where metaverse, they have gone through it over the last couple of years with people kind of doubting the vision that Mark Zuckerberg has had. And now finally, we're starting to see some of those, different strategies start to play out. And that's going to be huge for the stock moving forward. So the first comment that I highlighted up here is, meanwhile, its first pair of fully fledged AR glasses, which CEO Mark Zuckerberg has predicted will eventually be as widely used as mobile phones, is planned for 2027. So again, this is absolutely huge. This is what we've talked about in the channel before, because basically what AR could do is if they get it small enough, the technology small enough that it can fit in just a pair of glasses or even potentially down to a contact lens, there's no reason that all the technology that is built into your smartphone can't be built into these glasses. And it's clear that Mark Zuckerberg is looking at that as the long-term vision for metaverse and for AR glasses. And he's already planning by 2027 to start getting somewhere close to that vision. The second thing that I had highlighted up here is that Meta is planning to keep investing in consumer hardware. So this is huge because over the last couple of years, we've seen Apple step in and basically regulate a lot of these companies and what type of data they can pull from their users from the Apple App Store. And what Meta can ultimately do is if they build out their own hardware, they can kind of take over some of that space. You right now have Android and you have basically the Apple App Store. What you could start seeing is if Meta, gets into this industry very quickly, they build out their own app store and then they have control over the hardware and the software aspect. And that would be huge moving forward for this company. And they are already showing that they can progress towards this vision because the Quest 3 headset, which is supposed to come out later this year, is supposed to be 2 times thinner and at least twice as powerful as their recent release. And they are already showing how they will integrate AR technology into into their VR headsets. So this new headset will prominently feature mixed reality experiences that don't fully immerse the wearer, thanks to front-facing cameras that pass through video of the real world. With all of that, they still have competition coming into the marketplace. Apple has been talking about announcing a virtual reality headset for the past year, and it is expected to announce its high-end virtual reality headset sometime this year, while Sony just released its well-received PSVR 2 for console gamers. And then meanwhile, also Apple, Google, Snap, and others are all racing towards something even bigger. So augmented reality glasses. Again, this is what we're talking about with Meta. I think the ultimate vision is for Meta to integrate their VR technology into their augmented reality, and that's what we're already seeing from them. And a lot of these other players are trying to get into that space as well because they see the threat, right? Apple is the one that would be most threatened by this type of technology. They could see, their iPhone sales fall in a significant way if, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta are able to execute on the vision that they're talking about of capturing a lot of that smartphone user base into these glasses. And Meta is still trading at a relatively low valuation. We can see right now they're trading at an 18.21. The broader S&P 500 right now is trading around a 20 to 22 is the numbers that I've been seeing. And even if we look a year ago from Meta, they were trading at a 23.31. So overall, Meta is still at a relatively low valuation, obviously not as low as where they were just a couple months ago, around 11.31. So still not a bad price to get in at, but overall, I'm not really adding into my position as of right now. So as I mentioned, I am a stockholder of Meta. I do like the company for the long term. Obviously, buying right now, you're getting at a relatively decent valuation, but compared to just a couple months ago when you could buy below $100, obviously that was a very good value for the stock. So I built out a lot of my position over the last couple months and I'm happy with kind of where it's at. That's why I'm not adding to my position, but I still think that it's relatively a fair valuation right now. And I think they have a lot of room to the upside. So that is my opinion. Keep that in mind that I am just some random guy on YouTube. Do not buy a stock just because I talked about it. Make sure you are doing your own research. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button and have a wonderful rest of your day.